I never thought I'd be standing in a stranger's kitchen at 6 a.m., making pancakes shaped like dinosaurs while a 5-year-old girl critiqued my technique. But when Olivia Chen walked into my coffee shop last Monday with her designer suit and desperate eyes, everything changed. If you're wondering how a broke single dad ended up fake dating one of Seattle's wealthiest tech entrepreneurs, and how we both got more than we bargained for, stay with me. This story might just restore your faith in second chances. Like and subscribe if you believe love finds us in the most unexpected places. Olivia Chen stared at her phone, reading the text message for the 5th time. Her mother was coming to Seattle. In 3 days. And she expected to meet the boyfriend Olivia had been lying about for months. Perfect, she muttered, setting her phone face down on her desk. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows of her corner office, Seattle's skyline glittered in the afternoon sun. At 32, Olivia had everything she'd worked for. She'd built Chatterbox, a revolutionary AI communication platform, from a dorm room project into a billion-dollar company. She had the penthouse apartment, the wardrobe of designer clothes, the respect of the tech industry. What she didn't have was a boyfriend to present to her mother, who had spent the last decade reminding Olivia that success meant nothing without someone to share it with. Olivia picked up her phone again and scrolled through her contacts. Ex-colleagues? Too awkward. Friends of friends? Too risky. Professional escort? Too desperate. She needed someone convincing, someone who wouldn't complicate her life after her mother left. She needed coffee. 20 minutes later, Olivia pushed open the door to Grounds for Hope, the small coffee shop near her office. The rich aroma of freshly ground beans enveloped her as she approached the counter. "The usual?" asked the barista, Jack, according to his name tag. He was tall with dark hair that curled slightly at his temples, warm brown eyes, and the kind of smile that suggested he actually meant it. "Please," Olivia said, surprised he remembered her order. She came here often enough, but rarely engaged beyond the transaction. As Jack worked the espresso machine, Olivia noticed the small girl sitting at a table in the corner, tongue poking out in concentration as she colored. A backpack decorated with space shuttles sat beside her. "Your daughter?" Olivia asked, nodding toward the child. Jack glanced over his shoulder. "Yeah, that's Lily. School's out for Teacher Development Day, so she's helping me supervise the shop." "She's cute," Olivia said, meaning it. The little girl looked up as if sensing she was being discussed and waved enthusiastically at Olivia, who awkwardly waved back. "Here you go," Jack said, sliding her latte across the counter. One oat milk latte with an extra shot and a dash of cinnamon. As Olivia reached for her wallet, an idea struck her with such force that she nearly dropped her phone. She looked at Jack, really looked at him. Kind eyes. Responsible enough to run a business while caring for his daughter. Attractive in that unassuming way that her mother would approve of. "This might sound crazy," she began, lowering her voice, "but I have a proposition for you." Jack raised an eyebrow. "I'm listening." "I need a boyfriend. Just for a week." The words hung between them. Jack's other eyebrow joined the first. "My mother is visiting," Olivia continued quickly. "I may have led her to believe I've been dating someone for the past 6 months. She arrives Thursday. And you want me to pretend to be this boyfriend?" Jack asked, his expression unreadable. "I'll pay you," Olivia said. $10,000 for the week." Jack's eyes widened momentarily before his expression hardened. "I'm not for sale, Ms. Chen. Olivia Chen. And I'm not trying to buy you. I'm offering compensation for your time and acting skills." Jack glanced at his daughter, then back at Olivia. "Why me? You don't even know me. You seem trustworthy. You're clearly responsible. And my mother would find you." Olivia gestured vaguely at his entire person. "Appropriate." "Appropriate," Jack repeated flatly. I meant that as a compliment. A customer entered the shop, and Jack held up a finger to Olivia. Give me a minute. While Jack served the new customer, Olivia walked over to Lily's table. The girl was coloring what appeared to be a rocket ship with a rainbow trail. That's beautiful, Olivia said, sitting down across from her. Lily beamed. Thank you. I'm going to be an astronaut when I grow up. That's an excellent career choice. Daddy says I can be anything I want if I work hard and be kind. Your dad sounds very wise. Lily nodded solemnly. He is. He makes the best pancakes too. Jack approached the table, coffee pot in hand. Making friends, Lily pad? She likes my rocket ship, Daddy. Jack smiled at his daughter before turning to Olivia. Can we talk outside for a minute? On the sidewalk outside the coffee shop, Jack crossed his arms. 20,000. Olivia blinked. Excuse me? If I'm going to lie to your mother and pretend to be your boyfriend, it's 20,000. And I'm not sleeping on any sofa. If I'm staying at your place to keep up appearances, I get a real bed. Olivia studied him. You drive a hard bargain for a coffee shop owner. Single dad with a daughter who deserves the best education I can give her, Jack corrected. And I have conditions. Such as? Lily comes first. Always. If she needs me, the charade pauses. No exceptions. Olivia nodded. Reasonable. We need a backstory that's believable. How we met, how long we've been dating, all of it. I can draft something up. And, Jack continued, I'm not just arm candy. If I'm playing boyfriend, I'm playing a boyfriend who's respected and valued. Olivia felt a flicker of shame. Of course. One more thing, Jack said, his expression softening slightly. Why is this so important to you? Why not just tell your mother the truth? Olivia looked away, watching a ferry cross the Sound in the distance. It's complicated. I'm sure it is. But if I'm going to help you, I need to understand what I'm walking into. Olivia sighed. My mother sacrificed everything for me after my father died. She worked 3 jobs to put me through college. Every choice she made was to give me a better life. She met Jack's gaze. The one thing she wants is to see me happy and settled before Olivia swallowed hard. She's sick. Cancer. This might be her last visit. Jack's expression changed, understanding dawning in his eyes. You could still tell her the truth. And have her spend her final months worrying about me being alone? No. Olivia straightened her shoulders. So, do we have a deal? Jack extended his hand. We have a deal, Miss Chen. Olivia, she corrected, taking his hand. His palm was warm against hers. If we're dating, you should probably use my first name. Olivia, he repeated, and something in the way he said it made her stomach flutter unexpectedly. What had she gotten herself into? The next 3 days passed in a whirlwind of preparation. Olivia sent Jack a detailed document outlining their relationship history. They'd met at his coffee shop, started dating after running into each other at a farmer's market, had their first kiss on a ferry to Bainbridge Island. Jack, meanwhile, arranged for his assistant manager to cover the coffee shop and for Lily to stay with her best friend for the evenings when they'd be with Olivia's mother. On Thursday morning, Olivia found herself pacing her penthouse, checking her watch every few minutes. Jack and Lily were due to arrive at 9 a.m. to move in some of their belongings before they picked up her mother from the airport at noon. At precisely 9 o'clock, her doorbell rang. Olivia smoothed her silk blouse and opened the door to find Jack holding a small suitcase, with Lily beside him clutching a worn stuffed elephant. Welcome to my home, Olivia said formally, stepping aside to let them enter. Lily's eyes widened as she took in the spacious living room with its panoramic view of the city. Whoa! You live in the sky. Jack whistled low. Nice place. Thank you, Olivia said, suddenly seeing her apartment through their eyes, the minimalist furniture, the abstract art, the distinct lack of anything personal or homey. Let me show you to your rooms. She led them down the hallway, pointing out the guest bedroom where Jack would stay and the smaller room she'd hastily converted for Lily, buying a child-sized bed and a few toys she hoped were age-appropriate. You didn't have to do all this, Jack said quietly as Lily explored her temporary bedroom with delight. I wanted her to feel comfortable, Olivia replied. This is disruptive enough as it is. Jack studied her face. You're nervous. I don't get nervous. Your left eye twitches slightly when you're anxious. I noticed it at the coffee shop when you were waiting for your order during the morning rush. Olivia touched her eye self-consciously. You're very observant. Part of the job. Jack set his suitcase down. So, tell me more about your mother. What should I know? Over coffee at her kitchen island, Olivia briefed Jack on her mother, Margaret Chen, her preferences, her history, her expectations. Jack listened attentively, asking thoughtful questions that surprised Olivia with their insight. She sounds like an amazing woman, Jack said when Olivia finished. She is, Olivia agreed. Stubborn, traditional in some ways, but incredible. Like mother, like daughter, I'm guessing, Jack said with a small smile. Before Olivia could respond, Lily bounded into the kitchen. Daddy, can we have pancakes? Olivia doesn't have any cereal with cartoon characters. I'm sorry, Olivia said, embarrassed. I don't usually have children over. No problem, Jack said, standing up. Pancakes it is. Mind if I use your kitchen? Be my guest. Olivia watched in fascination as Jack moved around her kitchen with ease, finding ingredients and utensils as if he'd been there 100 times. Lily climbed onto a bar stool next to Olivia. Do you want to see my elephant? She asked, holding up the stuffed toy. His name is Neil Armstrong. After the astronaut? Olivia asked. Lily nodded enthusiastically. Daddy got him for me when I was a baby. He goes everywhere with me. That's very special, Olivia said, surprised by the warmth spreading through her chest at the child's openness. If you're going to be Daddy's girlfriend, does that make you my pretend mommy? Lily asked innocently. Jack nearly dropped the mixing bowl. Lily, remember what we talked about? This is just a special acting job to help Olivia. I know, Lily said. But we're still pretending, right? Olivia met Jack's gaze over Lily's head. There was concern there, and something protective that made Olivia realize the complexity of what she'd asked of them. We are pretending, Olivia said carefully. But I'm not pretending to be your mommy. I'm just pretending to be your daddy's girlfriend. Is that okay? Lily considered this, then nodded. Okay. But you can still be my friend for real, right? I'd like that very much, Olivia said, surprised to find she meant it. Jack turned back to the stove, but not before Olivia caught the relief in his expression. As he poured batter onto the griddle, Olivia realized she'd been so focused on convincing her mother that she hadn't fully considered what this charade might mean for Lily. First batch coming up, Jack announced, flipping a pancake shaped vaguely like a brontosaurus. Lily, want to show Olivia how to add the chocolate chip eyes? And that was how Olivia Chen, CEO of a billion-dollar tech company, found herself decorating dinosaur pancakes with a 5-year-old on the morning she was to introduce her fake boyfriend to her dying mother. Life had certainly taken an unexpected turn. Margaret Chen was exactly 5 feet tall, impeccably dressed in a navy pantsuit, and radiated the kind of quiet authority that made everyone in the airport arrivals area instinctively step aside as she walked through the sliding doors. Mom! Olivia called, waving. Margaret's face lit up at the sight of her daughter. They embraced, and Olivia felt the familiar mix of love and guilt that characterized their relationship in recent years. Let me look at you, Margaret said, holding Olivia at arm's length. Working too hard, as usual. Not enough sleep. It's good to see you too, Mom, Olivia said with a smile. Margaret's gaze shifted to Jack, who stood respectfully to the side, and then to Lily, who was partially hidden behind her father's legs. And this must be the young man I've heard so much about, Margaret said, extending her hand. Though you neglected to mention he comes with a beautiful little girl. Jack stepped forward, taking Margaret's hand warmly between both of his. Jack Reynolds, Mrs. Chen. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Olivia speaks of you with such admiration. Please, call me Margaret, she replied, visibly pleased by his manners. She crouched down to Lily's level. And who might you be, young lady? I'm Lily, the child said shyly. I'm 5 3/4. A very distinguished age, Margaret said seriously. I'm Olivia's mother. I know, Lily said. We're staying at her house in the sky. Margaret raised an eyebrow at Olivia, who quickly explained, my penthouse. Jack and Lily are staying with me while you visit. How modern, Margaret commented, in a tone that could have meant anything. As they walked to the parking garage, Jack naturally took Margaret's suitcase, engaging her in conversation about her flight and whether she'd visited Seattle before. By the time they reached Olivia's car, Margaret was laughing at something Jack had said, and Olivia felt a twinge of something that might have been jealousy at how easily he charmed her mother. Your Jack is delightful, Margaret whispered to Olivia as Jack helped Lily into her booster seat. Why didn't you tell me he had a daughter? I wanted you to meet her in person, Olivia improvised. Lily is special. Margaret studied her daughter's face. You care for them both. It wasn't a question, but Olivia answered anyway. I do. The surprising part was that it didn't feel like a lie. The rest of the day passed in a blur of sightseeing and meals. Jack played his role perfectly, holding Olivia's hand at just the right moments, sharing inside jokes they'd rehearsed, and telling stories about their relationship that sounded so genuine even Olivia almost believed them. By evening, they were all exhausted. After settling Margaret in the guest room, Jack had insisted on moving to the sofa bed in Olivia's home office. Olivia found herself alone with Jack in the kitchen as they cleaned up after dinner. You were amazing today, she said quietly, handing him a plate to dry. My mother is completely convinced. Jack shrugged. It's not hard to pretend to admire a successful, intelligent woman. Olivia felt her cheeks warm at the compliment. Still, thank you. This means more to me than you know. I'm beginning to understand, Jack said, his eyes serious. Your mother is lovely, by the way. I see where you get your determination. And my stubbornness? I didn't say that, Jack grinned, bumping her shoulder lightly with his. The casual touch sent an unexpected jolt through Olivia. She stepped back slightly, confused by her reaction. I should check on Lily, Jack said, seeming to sense her discomfort. She's not used to falling asleep in new places. Of course, Olivia said. Good night, Jack. Good night, Olivia. As she watched him walk away, Olivia had the unsettling realization that pretending to be in a relationship with Jack Reynolds might be easier than she'd anticipated, and that was precisely what worried her. The next few days fell into a surprising rhythm.